2 years ago, I made a video about superhero movies and why I'm getting tired of them. With all this speculation about superhero fatigue and when audiences are going to turn on the subgenre like the westerns of old, I thought that it might be a fun experiment to go through every superhero movie from the previous year to document any noteworthy exceptions to discuss and see if these films are improving or are heading towards the toilet bowl. I figure if you guys enjoy this video, then it's something I can revisit around this time every year. It's not like I'm going to be short of content to talk about. In all honesty, I think 2017 was probably the best year for these kind of movies since 2014. But that's not to say there ain't some stinkers. So I'm going to go through this list in order of DC, Marvel, and then the one X-Men movie. The timestamp for each separate film can be seen on screen now or in the description below, just in case there are any you don't want spoiled or just are not interested in. And I expect I will be spoiling some of them, so don't say I didn't warn you. Right, so let's don our capes and get into this. DC, Justice League. Good God, what a mess.
We might not have thought this through.
Justice League proved to me that the DC EU rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Really has no hope whatsoever. Like, I'm sorry, DC fans, but it's hopeless. You know, I like Batman and Superman too, but come on, guys. Through sheer incompetence and lack of vision, Justice League is the second most expensive movie of all time. And we as the audience don't really get to see where any of that money went, because all we're left with is a bland, hilariously subpar movie that offers not a single interesting element of note. There's no secret that the film had a nightmarish production, with constant studio interference to make it feel more like its competition, and a tragedy tearing its original director away only to be replaced by someone whose vision clearly does not align with what was originally shot. I don't think I've ever seen such a Frankenstein's monster of a film. I'd be more upset by it if it wasn't so comically fascinating in how appalling it is. At times it comes across as so amateur and poorly made that it feels more like a bad TV movie than a professionally funded and produced studio film. Say whatever you want about the Snyder films before this, but at least the miserable dark tone was somewhat consistent and offered something different to what the opposition brings to the table. Because without that, all you're left with is a film that is trying to ride off the success of someone else's business model, without any of the planning or base character development. And even then, not even doing a good job of aping it. They keep showing this epic Justice League lineup as if it's impressive or something, but realistically, we only know 2 of them in any sort of detail because everything is so rushed. The film is so brisk that it's kind of over before it ever really begins, hastily glossing over anything that could be interesting in fear of going over the 2-hour running time that the producers forced it to be. Personally, I actually prefer the characters in the Justice League over the ones in the Avengers. Well, I used to anyway. But this film really highlights the fact that simply owning the rights to a popular and valuable character isn't enough on its own. Marvel has meticulously built up some genuinely interesting characters over a very large amount of time, so when we see them come together, it's extremely satisfying and exciting. Justice League shows us nothing new except how to not make a superhero movie. I think if you did the exact opposite of every creative decision made in this movie, then you'd probably wind up with a pretty good film. The dialogue is terrible, trite, and is transparently begrudging in how it has to be used as the main source of exposition with no creativity or inventiveness.
After the unity, you will join my legion and the righteousness of power.
It is so by the books. Then, when that's combined with the reluctant delivery by Affleck, who clearly is not interested in being there at all. The pretty poor performance by Gal Gadot, who has, let's be honest, never been much of an actor to begin with.
Why? Because of your guilt?
Ezra Miller, who feels like he's run in from another movie, who gets more and more grating with each scene that he's in. Jason Momoa, who tries his best with what he's given, but is so glossed over that I actually forgot he was in the movie when I was writing this video. There's Ray Fisher, who probably gives the strongest performance with what he's given, but unfortunately it's completely undercut by some of the worst visual effects I've seen for a movie of this caliber. And Henry Cavill, who is now playing a completely different character to what we've seen in this universe before, because people didn't like dark, gloomy Superman, so here, have happy, glowy Superman. The great music by Junkie XL and Hans Zimmer that was set up from the last 2 Snyder films has been completely abandoned for the sake of a Danny Elfman score that is so bland and forgettable that it might as well not even be in the film. In some scenes it is mixed so quietly that you can't even hear it over the sound effects.
Bye-bye.
I kind of like the theme for Flash. but it means nothing when it's used so sparsely and without proper usage in combination with the other established hero themes. When I first saw the film in the theatre, I thought it looked pretty bad, but nothing really that noteworthy. But upon rewatching it for a second time on my 4K TV, I gotta say, this is easily one of the ugliest films I've ever seen. There is not a single shot that looked impressive to me. The reliance on CG for absolutely everything was so transparent and fake looking. Most of the movie is computer generated. It's basically an animated movie. Except the problem with that is that animated movies are normally drop dead gorgeous, and Justice League isn't. It has a script similar to one of the more mediocre animated DC films, so that makes sense, I guess. The actual art direction and production design is so inconsistent because of the strange post-processing they did on Snyder's original footage. They were desperately trying to add color and saturation to raw material that clearly was not filmed and lit the way they ultimately wanted it to look. The color grading is so bad at points that it actually made me laugh out loud. The intense grain and terrible choice of color had my jaw touching the floor at points. Like, Batman clearly was not supposed to look like this. He went from looking like the powerful, shadowed, cloaked figure from BVS, where he looked pretty great, to this goddamn gummy bear looking fool who is completely comical and useless. You know what, even the action, which at the very least is what you expect to be thought out and well choreographed for a film like this, is so poorly planned and fake looking. Even the Flash, who should be the most fun because of his powers, looks like a stupid dumb idiot when he runs around. Why is he moving like that? Every single one of these heroes is a discount Poundland version of something we've already seen better before. Cyborg is worse Iron Man, Aquaman is worse Thor, The Flash is worse Quicksilver, Batman is worst Batman from one film ago. And then when you get to Superman, who is so ridiculously powerful that it makes basically every other member of the team completely superfluous. Most of the film is even about how useless they are without Superman because he's so freaking ultimate.
The world needs Superman.
So they bring him back to life and he easily solves all the problems they were having. Wow. That's tense. Then we get to the villain, Steppenwolf, who is so bland that it actually pisses me off. He isn't a character. This guy is not a character, look at him. He's a dibby. He's just a stupid CG creature who vomits dialogue from the How to Write Superhero Villains handbook that Marvel threw into the trash 4 years ago. He's got no presence, he's not intimidating or scary. We don't care about his motivation because it's completely unrelatable and without depth or interesting explanation. Much like the rest of the film, he is pointless. All in all, Justice League ends up being one of the worst superhero films I have seen in years. A focus-tested business decision that resents the fact that the studio's poor management and vision have left it in the state that it's in. It is the film equivalent of that scene in Alien Resurrection where they stumble across a horrible manufactured clone of Ripley, who is begging to be put down because they're in such pain and misery. It tries to please everyone by being a colourful, friendly Marvel movie and ends up pleasing no one because it does nothing well. A plain and simple plot. A film that comes across as so unfinished and messy that you're left wondering if Warner Bros. Accidentally released previous material instead of the finished movie. It doesn't matter how successful Wonder Woman or Suicide Squad is on their own. They aren't enough to keep this sinking ship afloat. The Justice League is supposed to be the Avengers equivalent. We're supposed to be hyped and excited for this. This is supposed to be the peak of what this franchise and characters can give us, and we get this. It's a nail in the coffin for this universe, which somehow lost even more of the non-existent integrity that BVS already flushed down the drain. Why they let Snyder take the reins again after BVS, only to spend years and hundreds of millions of dollars backpedaling, exudes such ineptitude. But all I can say is that I'm glad it failed. I adore these characters on paper. I never want one of these films to be bad. I'm just glad that this film's failure reflects so poorly on the studio leadership that it will hopefully be the kick up the backside they need to take a step back and get their act together. At least the sooner this franchise fails, the faster we get another attempt at these beloved characters.
A nutty alt.
The Lego Batman movie. Hilariously enough, the Lego Batman movie is the best Batman movie in years. It has its problems and doesn't even remotely hold a candle to the Lego movie, but still manages to be an entertaining enough animated flick. The Lego presentation allows for a unique style that adds an endlessly inventive visual flair and potential for creativity, much like the toy it's based around. So I was just editing this segment of the video and I noticed a really cool animation quirk that you might not notice unless going through frame by frame. So I know they did this in the Lego movie as well, but the animators made sure to restrict themselves to motion that Lego is actually capable of, meaning, say, a Lego leg can't bend. There isn't muscle or bone in a piece of plastic. So to create the smear frames that animation has to have for smooth looking movement, what they actually do is they use Lego pieces. So you can see there, his leg actually morphs into two real Lego pieces that exist. And as this leg comes down, instead of just stretching the leg, they just place a Lego brick underneath it. And it creates the desired effect. So when you play it together, it creates a really smooth animation. It does seem to be aimed at a slightly younger audience than I was initially anticipating, with a lot of the humour being a little too immature, random and simplistic for my liking. However, the pacing is so quick that any bad jokes don't really get the chance to linger. That's not to say that the humour didn't work for me. As a big Batman and Lego fan, there's a lot to appreciate, and the majority of the time I found it pretty charming. The spin of Batman and Joker having this kind of anti-relationship was a clever twist that shows a clear understanding of the roots of the characters, which I appreciate, but at the same time twists it just enough for it to be suitably comedic and fresh. As far as the major negatives are concerned, I have a couple aside from the humour. Unlike the Lego movie, which was fully committed to absolutely everything in the universe being made out of bricks unless necessary to the plot, the Lego Batman movie is a little more flippant about it, meaning that the odd texture or particle looks realistic to like our world, and hence somewhat breaks the charming Lego visuals and style. It's not a deal breaker and it's pretty nitpicky, but it'd be nice if these Lego films had some sense of consistency as far as the visual style is concerned. My biggest problem would be the score by Lorne Balfe. A lot of it is just fine, except there is a piece that is constantly used that sounds weirdly similar to a track from Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh, you can't buffer it? I thought you could queue and then all of them queue it buffer.
Like, tell me if I'm imagining this. Every time it played, I found it very distracting and it really pulled me out of the film. The Captain Underpants movie did the exact same thing by basically stealing a theme from The Incredibles. Why does nobody notice this? So it's so distracting. Overall, I think Lego Batman does work more than it doesn't. There was clearly a lot of passion and understanding for how the characters are traditionally supposed to work. It's not a film for everyone, especially if you don't like Batman or Lego. But if anything I've said sounds interesting to you, then I'd probably recommend it. It's my favorite DC movie from 2017, that's for sure. Wonder Woman. I have basically nothing to say about Wonder Woman. It was so painfully average that I can barely remember anything that happened throughout its 2-hour and 20-minute runtime. I do appreciate the cultural impact it had being the first proper female-directed and starring superhero movie, but beyond that, I found it pretty forgettable. You have to understand that I'm really not expecting or even wanting that much from a superhero movie to have a good time. As long as the action is good, the effects work and production is solid, and the acting and dialogue is okay, I can deal with the pointless MacGuffin stories they all have.
This is MacGuffin Airlines, flight 1138.
As long as they're not too derivative, it really doesn't bug me that much. The problem is Wonder Woman doesn't particularly do any of these things that well. Sure, a lot of it is serviceable before it is bad, but also a lot of it is pretty bad. I don't know what it is about these DC movies having absolutely god-awful special effects, but a large portion of the time when CG is important to the visuals, it looks hilariously awful and cheap. I just either want to be shown something I haven't seen before, or if you are going to be derivative in some way, at least be better than what has come before it, or subvert my expectations in some way. Unfortunately, Wonder Woman does none of these things for me. It's kind of a weak porridge mix of other superhero movies we've seen years ago, without any of the creativity or energy required to make it stand out. With many splashes of the extremely middling Captain America the First Avenger combined with the fish out of water nonsense from the first Thor movie, and probably one of the worst third acts I've seen in one of these superhero movies, rivaling the stupidity and headache-inducing explosions of even Batman v Superman or Man of Steel. Simply nothing is surprising or that interesting to me. The director, Patty Jenkins, excels with the character-driven interactions and relationships, which is admittedly pretty solid, and Gal Gadot looks the part, but that's simply not enough for a movie in this social. It needs more. Needs some meat on the bone, on those skinny little bones. I do think the reaction to this film was a little hyperbolic, but I can at least appreciate that there is much more to like if you're able to ignore its glaring flaws, at least when compared to that of any of the other DC movies from recent years. However, to me, there is no greater crime than being so average and banal that you just become boring. And I was so constantly bored with Wonder Woman that I really cannot recommend it. Marvel, The Guardians. Man, talking about subverting expectations, this The Guardians movie is kind of a weird 180 for director James Gunn here. I guess they didn't have much confidence in it because it looks terrible. Maybe it had like a really small budget, and I don't know why everyone kind of speaks the way they do.
You were the one to use me as a guinea pig thing just 3 out.
What happened to Starman? What happened to the wrestler guy? Okay, obviously this isn't Guardians of the Galaxy 2. This is a different superhero movie, not made by Marvel. I was subverting your expectations there. Wasn't that clever?
You know that you need our superpowers, but you're not going to get them.
That's not for you to say, my furry friend.
But when I googled superhero movies 2017, this film I'd never heard of called The Guardians was there. At first I thought it was one of those cash grab rip-offs that always come out, like Atlantic Rim or Transmorphers, you know, that kind of thing. But it turns out this is a superhero action movie from Russia, made for what converts to about $5 million or something like that. It's really low. With that being said, the effects work pretty bad, but for $5 million, it's pretty decent. And I gotta say, this is one of the most entertainingly bad movies I've seen in a long time. I was consistently laughing, scream laughing throughout. It's kind of like copying Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers and Justice League all at the same time. It tries to do what Guardians of the Galaxy did, where you set up like a team of characters who all have their own personality and different powers and stuff, and make a team out of them. This movie is so short, it's like an hour and a half long, and all of them have already been superheroes before.
As you might have noticed, our old team's back together.
I don't know if there have been like other entries in this series, but I don't think so. Everything's just rushed past, and it's one of the worst cases of the show don't tell rule I've ever seen. Every other minute that a character just breaks out into a monologue like, oh yeah, well, this is my past. Yeah, I've been hiding in the wilderness, and now, yeah, I can turn into a bear.
Welcome, horses.
Tricked ya. Committing hazard.
So the story is there's a villain who did experiments on scientists and accidentally created superpowers, and this crazy scientist man
a lot of
who has
enemies.
a weird tiny face accidentally gives himself the power to control vehicles. Like he's not like Magneto who can control metal, he can just control vehicles, like drive tanks around and these weird CG Metal Gear looking things. And his plan is to, I don't know, destroy the world or something, who cares?
Soon the whole
Oh,
world
you didn't get an assist.
will know that I am a genius.
So I mentioned the film is Russian, so of course it was originally filmed in Russian. So the film has this hilarious hunt down the Freeman tier voice acting by English people
It's foolish to stand in the way of a deadly warrior.
that just really add to the hilarity of how terrible this is.
I found out as part of my superpowers, I don't grow old.
Like, I'm sure even in Russian the dialogue is bad, so when you add in the fact that it's translated, it adds an extra level of bad.
I guess silence is golden.
Yes, silence. Say it's priceless.
The whole thing made me think of what it's like browsing DeviantArt. Like if you stumble across some OC Avengers art or something, where everyone's made their own characters, and one can turn into a bear, and one of them can shoot rocks or whatever. It's like one of those come to life with a big screen. We got a guy who's an earthbender from Avatar, a guy who can run really fast like the Flash, and a guy who can turn into a bear like a werewolf, and there's a girl who can only go invisible while in water. Like a really specific and kind of useless power. One hilarious thing is that this villain guy actually looks better than the villain from Justice League, which is so embarrassing for Justice League, considering it's one of the most expensive movies of all time compared to this stupid Russian $5 million garbage. The first 30 minutes are just the team coming together, and they keep referencing, oh, the gang's coming back together, this is all happening again. But then in their first fight back together, they just get their asses kicked and they're all defeated and captured. And it's like, well, you're all useless.
Oh, it's pushed really far for some reason. That's okay though.
It has some of the worst sound design I've ever heard, and this is including Search for the Worst movies. It's like they didn't use any of the original audio that was recorded or like Foley in the background. So every single sound that you hear is so artificial and just plugged in. It creates this really funny, unintentional humor. Everything's so awkward. It just feels awkward and wrong. Completely strange and unexplained things happen, like towards the end of the second act, this just old guy called the Professor shows up and everyone acts like they know him. And one character's like, "Oh, I thought you were dead." And then he's like, "Nah, I'm alright."
Pardon me, Major. There's a professor here to see you. He claims that he used to work with.
Professor, this is incredible. We didn't even think you were still alive.
But then, literally in the next scene, he's killed. And we're supposed to care for some reason.
Goodbye, Victor.
One of the things that really sticks in my mind is this weird shot of the villain just walking in a straight line for like 20 seconds straight. Editing is so bad. They never know when to cut, and they just cut back to things that they've already shown. It reminds me of the way I would edit YouTube videos back when I started when I was like 14. Probably the highlight of the movie is this really dramatic, melodramatic monologue by the bear guy, who's really upset that he's scared that his bear mode is gonna get him stuck permanently being a bear.
Especially when I reach the final stage of full bear mode. That brain mode's lasting longer every time. It's weird. I'm scared I could get stuck in that mode forever.
Every one of them has the most dramatic, stupidly over-the-top backstories. It reminds me of a really badly written anime or something. Like the really fast guy, just out of nowhere towards the end, is like, "I had a brother once. He was way better than me all the time and was really strong. I could never beat him in a fight. That's why I agreed to be tested on by the scientist. But then he made me too strong, so I came back and we re-fought, but the power just consumed me and I killed my brother by accident." And they're like, "Alright, do you want to go do your job now?" And he's like, "Alright," and just jumps off.
I just lost control. Then my senses came back. My brother was dead. I had beaten him to death.
The action is really slow for some reason. It's like they didn't plan any of it out at all. Probably the best thing in the movie is this bear guy. He like walks around just as this stupid CG bear with trousers on and boots. He's like completely useless until they invent this machine gun that they strap to his back, and then he runs around punching people in the air and shooting them with a machine gun. And then he turns into a full bear that has a machine gun strapped to it, and he's running around shooting people. Then he changes back to the halfway bear transformation, and he's just randomly got boots on again. And they do this really weird thing where out of nowhere a character's just like, "Oh, by the way, all of the Guardians can swap powers with each other, but it's dangerous." So then they tell the Guardians, and they're like, "Oh, right, cool, let's join together and shoot like a beam out, and then we won." I think it's probably the best film I've ever seen. It's the film I recommend most out of every one of these in the list. It's the one you'll definitely, every single one of you will enjoy because it's just so hilariously bad. Sorry, I mean good. It's free on Amazon Prime for people in the UK, so watch that right now. Okay, now I'll actually go to the serious one. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Guardians 2 is a wonderfully cheesy crowd pleaser that I enjoy immensely. James Gunn's passion for interweaving comedy into character organically creates a tone that somehow manages to still be taken seriously, at the same time as being a really effective comedy. Gunn clearly pumps so much attention and care into making sure that every character serves a purpose, that either fits into the various characters' arcs or themes, or is just there to be funny. So you're left with a Marvel movie that not only is especially kick-ass, visually impressive, bombastic, and hilarious, but has a lot more emotional resonance than even the better Marvel movies from before it. As much as I enjoy the Avengers or the first Iron Man, they don't really make me feel anything beyond the spectacle or comedy. So Guardians 2 rises to the top compared to what has come before it in that regard. It knows just when to pull back so as to not undercut any dramatic moments, and usually knows the right amount of time to spend on a joke before briskly moving on. I'm so glad that Marvel have leaned back a bit and allowed the Guardians movies to have their own distinct identity. They knew that if you took this inherently silly material too seriously, it could easily fall flat on its face. So they fully embraced the campy 70s inspired motif and ran with it. It distinguishes itself through lashings of colour and unique production design and some really interesting costumes and makeup. I really cannot emphasize how cartoony and fantastical these movies are over all of the others, especially compared to the Captain America movies. And that isn't a negative necessarily at all, but it is worth noting, especially considering we're going to see these worlds collide soon. And there are a couple of scenes where I had to question myself on if they went a little too far on it. It's probably mostly down to how much patience I have for seeing CG characters bouncing, jumping, and flinging around before I get tired of it. Speaking of CG, I don't normally like praising a movie by saying, the CG was amazing, but the CG was amazing. It's that kind of CG that is still very obviously CG, but is so polished and detailed that you're just impressed by how good it ends up looking. I will say that for me, it does take a little while for it to really get going. I do prefer the first act from the original movie a little more, but the last two acts are much more satisfying in this one. There are so many memorable lines and moments to the point where, if you put 10 different people who have seen this movie in a room, and each asked what their favourite moment was, they potentially all have different answers.
The thing where when you kill someone, it gives you mana.
And likable, and probably has the best jokes in the movie.
I bet that would be
Chris
really
Pratt
good.
delivers another good performance as Star-Lord, and so does Bradley Cooper as Rocket.
Yeah, let's
Although,
back out
out
of
of
here.
all the Guardians, I find him to be the most inconsistent. To me, he's either really funny or massively annoying. I don't really care
really
about
wanna go
Gamora
on this.
very much. I wouldn't say she's particularly bad or anything, but I'm just not that invested in her character. I enjoy her arc with Star-Lord and the one with her sister that adds some much needed depth, but I really don't enjoy Nebula that much either. She's serviceable, but there's something about the delivery of her dialogue that I find off-putting. I think it's all in the performance with that one. Goddamn Doctor Who, girl. Go back to Doctor Who. Kurt Russell does a really great job. He expresses his desperation and makes you understand the motivation for the things he does, even if they're not even remotely agreeable. But Michael Rooker steals the show as Yondu. They turn him from someone you kind of were indifferent about in the first movie, like he was a lot of fun. He's not someone you really were invested in or cared about that much, into probably one of the best characters in the MCU. Sean Gunn even sneaks in a really solid performance that is worth mentioning. Honestly, just about everyone is pretty good in this movie. You can tell how much passion there was for it. As humorous as they are, I don't find that these Guardians movies make me laugh out loud. They remain charming and likable throughout, but don't get much more than a smile or light chuckle from me. I'd say that 1 out of every 5 jokes really doesn't work for me, which is fine considering how fast the pacing is and how many jokes there are, but it can still be kind of lame when you're really not feeling the humor of the scene. And once you figure out that a lot of the humor revolves around characters remarking on how ridiculous their current situation or behaviors are, then it can feel a little bit repetitive and predictable. I was also pulled out of the movie a couple of times by characters randomly going into monologues that were triggered by something kind of unrelated. It's self-aware and often played for laughs, but it shows some of the strings of Gunn's writing coming through, instead of feeling like a natural interaction. Overall, this is very high in my favourite Marvel
Oh yeah, we
movies,
maybe could
although I have to
undo.
say I did like it a lot more the second time seeing it. The jokes seemed to flow better and were somehow more surprising to me or something. The emotional core and family themes of the movie nicely carries it along to keep you invested and interested, and helps to ground the movie in something relatable around all of the crazy space mumbo-jumbo. And you can clearly tell a lot of care and attention was put into making this world feel fleshed out and thoughtful despite how silly it is. I still don't really understand the powers of these characters because they all seem a little bit
I think they can
invincible,
catch
but I
me
really
still.
don't care that much
kinda
because
cute.
everything fits within the context in which they're shown. I'd recommend this film to even people outside of the nerds who love superhero movies. It works inside and outside the MCU, standing tall as a very strong and well-written James Gunn movie above all else. It doesn't try to recapture the lightning in the bottle that the first movie was with cheap tricks and lazy writing. It builds on its characters and leaves us in a different place to where we began, which is all you can really ask for in a sequel. Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, I really wasn't that keen on Homecoming the first time I saw it. I thought it was fine. It didn't really offer me much that I hadn't seen before already, but a weird thing happened. Upon rewatching it, I actually really enjoyed it. Once you break out of the everything has to be just like Spider-Man 2 mindset, then there is a lot to appreciate. It's not without its problems, but it does a very good job of showing us a relatively quaint and self-contained superhero story that focuses more on character interaction over the entire world coming to an end. It has one of the best villains in the entire MCU who is completely understandable in his motivations for a change, and Tom Holland is a really likable main character. Weirdly enough, for a Marvel movie, the action is kind of the worst thing about it. I wouldn't say it's bad, like Justice League or Wonder Woman, but it's just not that impressive or as well choreographed compared to what we saw the same character do in Civil War. Spider-Man has such an interesting way of being able to move and fight because of his powers, so it's disappointing to me that he doesn't do anything that memorable compared to what we've seen in the past. Probably my biggest problem with the movie are the bizarre shots where Spider-Man is pointlessly completely CG, even for shots where he's not even performing anything that otherworldly or stunt heavy. The suit looks really impressive and amazing when the actor is actually wearing it with the expressive CG eyes, but you can always tell when he's completely CG and it looks kind of terrible and weightless. I'm also not sure about how I feel about the Iron Manization of Spider-Man. It does make sense in the universe considering how the suit came to be, but it does make him feel a little less special. I guess that does ultimately tie into the point of the movie, so whatever. Out of the three Marvel movies of 2017, it is definitely the most bland and typical Marvel in terms of its visuals. It doesn't have much style in its camera work, editing, lighting, action, or pretty bland score. The score is probably above average for one of these. There are actually some light motifs I remembered and noticed, as opposed to just being random orchestra noise like they often tend to be. But it's really the writing and performances that carry the movie. There's just something so compelling about watching Peter try to balance his life as Spider-Man with being completely lame, kind of pathetic, average school kid. And the two lives end up mingling with each other in some really interesting ways in this movie. I thought the opening with him filming everything with a vlog was weird and awkward and went on for way too long. But once that's over, it does get much better.
It's kind of just mashing
I'm
there.
not that enthusiastic or passionate about this movie either way, and that's because I'm really not. I think it's relatively well made and solid in most areas, but for me it's lacking that certain X factor that really makes a movie like this special to me. I can't see why so many people fell head over heels for this movie. I personally prefer what the same character had to do in Civil War over what happened in this movie. With all that being said though, it's still either the best or second best Spider-Man movie, depending on your thoughts on Spider-Man 2. Maybe part of why I seem so unenthused is because we've had 3 different interpretations of this character over such a short amount of time. There were like 400 million movies, which has become a little mind-numbing. But this Spider-Man is definitely the best fit for the MCU, and I hope for the sequel that it can set itself apart by either upping the presentation a bit or having a more original story. Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok is a weird one. I really dislike the first and second Thor movies. They are so bland that even referencing them is making me feel tired. But Ragnarok is kind of amazing. I don't want to oversell how good I think it is because I have some major problems with it. But wow, we actually got an extremely entertaining Thor movie. Who would have thought? We basically have one of my favourite directors, Taika Waititi, to thank for this one. His Kiwi humour and sense of style is exactly what this character needed to stand out and give, well, him a sense of character. Thor is no longer the dictionary definition
Rise
of
was
boring,
pretty funny.
pretty prince
That old
man.
man.
He has a personality and a sense of humour, and he's thrust into a situation where he actually has to problem solve and figure out a way to get out the obstacles that are holding him back. Unfortunately, the first 30 minutes of the movie are kind of dedicated to undoing the dullness of the previous 2 movies, with a strangely long sequence with Doctor Strange, which seemed a little unnecessary to me, and a death scene that lacked any impact or resonance at all. But once Thor winds up on the garbage planet, then things get a hell of a lot more interesting. Clearly heavily inspired by the 80s, much like Waititi's previous film Boy, with nods to John Carpenter.
Gaming time. So mad. Oh, I almost left base with the wrong items.
Alright guys, welcome back to my League of Legends Let's Play series on YouTube. Today I'm joined with the jungler from the last game, Gloomrock. Say hello.
Hello.
Nice moves, bro. Oh wait, that's not you. That's you.
That is.
I'm ready to see the box action.
I'm not that good at Ruben, but
I'm ready to see the rush action.
see how it goes.
I could have stolen blue, he didn't smite it. There we go, that's a pretty good early trade for me.
Oh, of course.
I didn't know he did that much damage level 1. Got out damaged by a thrush.
I got ganked at level 2.
Nice. Good guy, Zach. They hit 2 for us. How did that do a crit? Nice. Oh wait, he hit that, wow.
Of course. Just hanging around. But
Kinda want to flash E on the thrush. Maybe I'll drop it down for the Ashe here. And max E first, and then probably W. I've got enough mana for like one combo.
no one's died yet.
Yeah, I haven't fed yet. She's so good at dodging.
They're all there. That's a rip.
Oh, you died. Damn, I didn't expect all four to come in.
I did. I didn't expect Ash to go ham. Oh my god.
Oh, you guys got this.
Back up.
Zach is really going in.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Thank God that worked out.
Yeah, I can't believe that worked.
I got a double and stuff.
Zach's fair, so fair, lol. Oh, they buff Zach? That must be why Zwag was playing him. Oh, there's a control board up there. I should be able to get Thresh. Ah, he's spooked. That was actually somewhat close. He's pushing real hard.
That Zen is relentless. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's a relentless hunter. Get it? Because that's the name of the thing.
Yeah,
Are you gonna wait there? I can come in, try to do something. Kinda slow though.
damn it. I almost had him back up.
Fresh. Oh, there's a Cassidon. At least I got a stack off him. He's over the wall.
Can I do this? Oh, that was close.
Oh, do you have ults up yet?
I already used it.
Rip. I think keeping Q on level 1 is actually the strat, because that way I can spam it at 40 mana. Yes, pull me, my friend.
I'd say I'm pretty fat. I got a kill there too.
I'm gonna try to have 0 CS by the end of this. Oh my gosh, the Sinzam.
You should just assume he's always there. You
Yeah,
gave up on me
probably.
'cause you couldn't kill me.
You right, you right.
Oh, I missed. Oh, I didn't miss, but
He doesn't miss.
I
don't think they're there. They might be in this bush or something, I don't know. Thresh is really low though, I ulted him.
Right now.
It's times like these, I wish I had homies boots. Nice.
You can drive.
Yeah. And I can eat the Cassidon.
I honestly didn't think I was gonna do all this good.
It's the Ribbon mid tech. I hoped he would let me queue it. It gives 2 extra stacks. Oh shoot, dude, I can farm. Let's go. Oh, this is hype.
Want to buy a Storm Razor just to see? I mean, I feel like it would work.
Oh my gosh, this guy, dude. Look at that. I might have exhausted the wrong one.
Or, yeah, you could have ulted him before he died.
Yeah.
Or early. Yeah, preemptively just burn your ult when someone's low, because they might get away like that.
Yeah, I thought Zach had him for sure, because he's,
I knew he was
oh, he's not AP yet.
It kind of saddened me, I'm not gonna lie.
Feels bad.
But,
Don't worry, I'm coming.
he should run. Nice.
Oh no, I got him. That's worth as long as Kass doesn't get the kill, I think.
Are you serious?
Can you queue over that?
I didn't have anything up.
Bye bye.
That was my bad.
That's okay, I pressed the R and everything worked out okay.
I got there a little too late.
That Q definitely went through that minion. That was so weird.
It's kind of like Lux Q, where it can hit 2 targets.
Yeah, I know, but like the minion was alive and then I Q'd and then it died to the turret shot. Or something. Or it died to like a minion. Oh, I don't have refillable pot. I don't really want to fight them without my ulti up.
Well, not the Hydra, the TMF.
Yeah, let's just back up for now, because Zinza's always gonna come. This guy's kinda pushing, and I don't know why. How do you ward from here to here? They have a strategy where the Thresh throws his Q and then the Ashe throws her W.
Since TP mid. Fine bot.
Oh, I just burned my E. This timing isn't great.
They saw me.
Yeah, I think it might be warded. He wants to go in. I don't really want to go in. Uh-oh. I'm getting like 19 FPS for some reason.
Oh. Stop.
Oh, I'm so far behind, dude. What the heck?
Not fast. That's not bad.
Oh my gosh, my ult didn't come out. Are you serious? That's okay. I think we still win this. As long as Zach lands his... Yeah.
Yeah, she should just hit him.
World record.
I think we win because Max is ahead.
Won't it let me queue? This is so weird. The sack.
Oh god.
As long as E isn't up, he's okay, I think. Wow. The battle of the tanks. He doesn't die.
We should take that drag.
Yeah, we can get this turn for sure, though. Actually, probably not. Cassidon's coming, but that shouldn't matter too much.
Drag it out.
Yeah, I don't think Zach wants to. I'll just save my burst for the ending.
Yo, not. Yeah, he got smited. Oh, he was scared. I don't know where they are right now. They're missing.
They're probably too afraid of us.
All really screwed.
Oh yeah, look at that big boy damage. I don't want to fight under their tower.
Die.
Maybe you should have gotten hooked there.
I need to go top lane.
I can maybe alter. We'll see.
Works. Why does she have two? She's kind of trolling.
Oh, she's two pickaxes.
Yeah.
What a Chad. She just wants that damage. Oh wow, he hit that. Yep. Oh, my damage came out, but the ult didn't. Feels bad. If the ult came out, she could have killed. Maybe I should get ninja tabbies. How much AP do they have?
Anyway.
They have like barely any AP, just Cassidon. I'll start stacking armor.
Oh, they are some pricks.
My ultimate hunter is at 3 out of 5 now. We just have to kill Ashe and Sinzao.
So far. Four. Ah, she was right there. Ah, man. I swear.
Oh, did you take too long to check where she was?
No, as I walked into the bush, she disappeared.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, if I had like just like queued into the bush, she would have. Oh, are you serious? Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I stopped to auto minion. That's so troll.
Oh, she was in range.
Ease up again. Let's go.
Phase, but she's fast.
Good stuff. I'll drop an exhaust on him. Let's go, dude. All that armor totally saved me from that tower shot too. I would have been like quarter health there.
He was behind it. He's building a rabbit on for some reason.
No, I'm getting armor. I'm gonna get the frozen, and that way I get a shit ton of CDR and armor. Oh, I'm surprised they didn't go in off that.
Mountain is up in 30 seconds.
Oh, I got my Seraphs transformed. Let's go. They're not gonna expect the tank Vagar.
I'm buying some Warmong.
Yeah, I'll buy a Warlock next. And a Rylai's. Actually, Rylai's would be sick with my W.
Yeah,
Yeah, laundry. My Q is level 1, so I can't even farm with it. I'm gonna go Frozen Heart into Thornmail.
No HP, but you're tanky.
My W does 500 damage, and my ult does up to 1000.
I think it gives 1 mana. Are you serious?
Yeah, I was not expecting. What was that, Ash ult?
Ash ult.
Yeah, I should have E'd early. I have pretty high CDR, so I can spam it, kinda.
That was kinda sad.
Feels bad. No QSS yet. I like it how he can hook Nasus and Nasus just does not care at all.
Put me on the big.
Oh, we got this. This is free. Let's go. Oh, I could just drop a ult on her. Let's go. Alright. What are we fighting about, boys? Oh my gosh, Thresh tried to go the wall over on me, and he got stopped by my cage so he couldn't fly to me. That's pretty crazy. I could flash the wall, but I think Zach's got this.
Aspen wasn't there that fight.
Yeah, Kassadin was bot. That was really good. Oh, I didn't know he could flay out of the E. Let's go. Do I have enough for Frozen Heart yet? No, I have enough for Zeke's. What does Zeke's do?
Kass is legit making me cry.
Casting your ultimate near your ally surrounding something.
Oh wait, what the? Where'd he go?
I need 100 more gold for Frozen Heart.
right there.
Kassadin farming for the late game. Let's go. Oh, give me that.
He flashed? Did he flash for it?
Yes, I flashed for it.
Dude, he didn't have any mana left. Did he
I
flash?
literally just like swatted him out of the way. Alright, let's keep killing them. Just keep killing them. It'll all work. Oh, I could probably flash ult this guy. Let's go. Drop the exhaust. It's probably not the greatest idea. Because I think he's getting away. Oh, never mind. My auto takes it. So sick of these idiotos on my team. I like it how we have 2 tanks to tank the turret.
Oh, get away from me.
Oh my gosh, she's dead. Oh, she lived! What the hell?
Got it.
I can't believe she lived off that. Imagine playing sub.
Dragons up and
Scrub the whole game. Alright, let's go, dude.
who's the only one that I guess Yorick and Kass. Well, Ash isn't that bad either, but Zin and
I like how Thresh spelled butt.
what's Kassadin supposed to do?
Kassadin should be 1v5ing already. He's pretty lazy.
It wouldn't land.
Win lane, lose game.
Yeah, you can't fight me either. I 1v1'd him earlier.
Will that kill? This should.
Should kill one.
Yo, I'm finally getting to farm in the mid lane, just like I was meant to.
I'll die. It's freaking Kass. Why did you have to?
I'll go help out Zach with the Dragoon. Oh, I could have queued it, but he didn't let me. I think Kass is around still.
Right there.
Yeah, I don't really want to go in on him though. I mean, he's been farming Grom, so he should be strong, right?
Oh, Yorick just killed Oliver by himself.
Wait, he did? Alright, I'll back, I guess. That's enough farming for now.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's see if he can 1v1 Kaisa yet. He's too much of a wimp.
I think he can.
Wait. Why is Kaisa going so far into there? I'm gonna start farming the jungle.
Then won't Kassadin farm, man.
Yeah, you right. Actually, I'm gonna back because I can get another cold steel.
Let me get an edge of my.
I like it how I'm going super tank, but they aren't even like trying to hit me. Also, PSA, Frozen Heart does not give Cold Steel, so you can get Cold Steel and Frozen Heart. And you just reduce their attack speed so much. Because it's an aura. So it's triggered by going close to enemies. Come on, Dominos. Let's go to Baron. I don't really see a reason here to not group as 5. Are we fighting? I'll go hang out with you guys. Oh, I could've ulted. think we can 4v4. Kaiso isn't doing much. We got 4 tanks. I'm gonna drop an exhaust. Let's go. Ah, you didn't need to flash for that.
Oh, what?
That's fine. You can get hooked. We'll just kill the Thresh instead.
Just perma CC.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that damage is so rough.
No.
Way to get pulled into base.
Sad.
Feel sad, man. Oop. Oh, I sent out an ult and it didn't even do anything because he died so quickly.
Oh, guys, I think you guys are dead.
No, I'm not dead. I have a shit ton of mana. I mean, what was that?
Final
Armor.
boss York out here.
Let's see. Can he damage me?
Oh, the Gnosis is too strong.
I want the assist. Let's go.
No.
I can't die. I like it how Zinzao went in on me, did 0 damage, and then I just comboed him with a WQ and he went to half health. Dude, tank Vagar is broken. I'll honor the Susan top. Let's see the damage charts. I guarantee you. Yeah, I did more than Kaisa. And you.
Yeah, I don't know. This was. I don't know what to do. Like, every time I went in, I either freaking cast it and just ran away, and I could not fight York.
If anyone tells you that the tank meta is over, look at York's damage.
York's insane. I'm playing Riven anyways.
Yeah, I did more than Thresh too. Even though he killed me, well, almost killed me level 1.
Dude, I swear I could look at my match history like 2 days ago. Now I can't.
It's been down for like a week or so for me.
It's up like 2 days ago for me.
I should jungle, cause these idiots can't.
Oh, what? Upline.
Wait, we were double duoed? Dude, I love the salt. I just drink it in.
Where's my phone?
Was 1v9 for me. Poor Yorick, dude. Kass didn't do anything that game. Don't leave, it's my fault. I think the Twisted Fate will be top. I'm really hoping that the Lux is support because I play better versus Lux than a Vel'Koz. Yeah, I'm just gonna build Spirit Visage and then my W will heal me.
I'm thinking that I buy Proto Belt and then I buy the Zonya's Arc. No, I buy Banshee's Veil.
It's gonna be full lethality, misfortune mid, and then twisted fate ADC. Poor Yi is invading all by himself.
Do any of them heal? I don't think
Don't leave, it's my fault. Don't leave, it's my fault. Yeah, I think they're gonna swap red buffs.
going to his red buff right now.
Look at that 6 stun. I don't have a ward. Frick.
He's not here.
We got her. Yeah, baby. And we got her flash too. That's how you start off a game.
TF.
TF?
Can you get something?
TF? I don't know, I think they're probably gone, but I'll go with you. Oh shit. Oh yeah, ignite. Don't worry, I got W for you.
I wanted to get something at least for that.
Yeah, good job. I didn't think Amumu would stay like that.
Fucking
I don't know what he was thinking.
Christ.
I have to wait till either exhaust or ult comes back online before we can kill again, I think. This Lux is getting out those 40 damage autos. Oops.
Understand why the hero people.
Guardian is actually really nice on Bard. I didn't think it would work this well. Because when they gank, you just W your ADC and then they can't hurt you. Might stay for boots. See my water real quick. Let's see if Kaisa takes my tunnel. Let's go. How you doing mid there?
Good.
Once I get ult, if you're push back, I can come in.
He's scared of me. I won't fight.
Can we grab drag? You're pretty strong, and I'm tanky early. Probably do something.
She's here. He's gonna do blue. Wanna.
Oh yeah, take the blue, I'll protect you.
I wanna go in after the time.
I missed. Whatever, I'll just exhaust. Yeah, you got this.
Double buffs.
They counter jungling mid lane.
Yeah, I know. I just know the jungle too well. I can't help myself.
No, it's good. We got a kill and a blue buff.
I'm like, I know exactly the reason.
This he is thirsty. I'll go help him out. Oh, take my tunnel. Take my tunnel.
He's dead. Oh, he left. He's a god.
I was so sure he was dead. I like didn't even. I just walked away instantly, and he lived somehow. Did he like W?
W. Right
Nice.
before the tower down.
I guess you never really know with these.
When I dive, I have.
Yeah, I have ulti too. I'm kind of low though. Let's wait until like another wave or so. Well, we'll see. I can follow. Don't leave me. It's my fault.
F2.
Yeah, TFT is over here. Oh, I got that sick double stun. Let me see if I can heal someone.
Yeah. I didn't have enough time.
Don't leave. Oh, my W didn't heal enough. Wait, I was supposed to be building MR.
Are we supposed to be building them more?
I defaulted to building the armor item. Maybe I just won't upgrade it. I got Merc Treads.
If you would have queued.
Oh, Yi should be able to get at least one.
So close. He would have, when he threw the gold card and it missed, it would have been super free. Sucks. Get collapsed, son.
Sometimes I forget how strong TF's ult was. I thought there was no way he could kill me there.
What?
Dang. If I had ult up, we could have gotten him.
That sucks. He got lucky with that gold card pull. It's not always the gold card as the first card.
Don't leave, take part. I mean, my quarter health her with like one combo is take part, so it's not too bad in damage.
He's dead.
I cannot believe that she died because she was trying to get my W.
She got out of position just to grab it.
Yeah, she like waited really long for some reason. So my W killed her.
No way.
There's a moo. Oh my gosh, I'm alive. Look, she wants me so bad. Look at that, dude. I just showed up to troll her at the end.
Diver if I can. How are you in a bush?
This game should be a pretty free one. I have a feeling.
I don't know why I like what happened last game.
They have a full control board in this bush, what the heck? Hey guys, I'm here now.
I'm gonna back off. You guys should reset it. It's a lot of gold.
Nah, shut up. Yeah, I know, I'm gonna ult. He didn't go that way, what the heck? He went to the left. Once my E's up, we can dive pretty free.
Not there, wait.
We just need minions to come in.
I'll tank.
Oh my gosh, I was tanking turret. Don't worry, I got my W. There we go. That's that good stuff. Oh my gosh, did this Yi just suicide?
Oh, he did it again. He lived.
He lived with one health again. Let's go. Oh, I just need to exhaust her. He wants me. Go in. Stay in. Nice. Just wait for them to follow. Aw. I was hoping that they would follow the tunnel. What an idiot.
Nah.
Lux threw out a random Q at the end. I have no health, I'm not going back in. Oh wait, what? I was in shop. Dang it, I could've gotten out of that. I had my E up, and flash, and exhaust.
Well, I don't understand why you tried to kill me. That was just greedy. I'm too strong.
Oh, you got him? Okay, worth.
Yeah, I don't understand what was gonna happen. It's like, dude, you're not strong enough to kill me.
To Twisted Fate players are all suicidal, they just want gold. Even if it means feeding the gold to the person with the most damage on our team.
Rift. Before he touches town. That's worth.
Oh, we can kill them mid.
Oh, that's so close. The rift. I had to stop the cut. I'm allowed.
I like it how I took like no damage from that. Although he missed everything. What's going on with this E? I'll scout ahead.
Should I dive him?
Give me a sec, I'm gonna grab a chime. We should be able to though, yeah. Would you want me to ult?
Probably not anymore. Bot, they're pushing bot.
Why is Kaisa here?
If you can ult him.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna wait till I get closer. I'm gonna ult.
You get ulted right in front.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb. I can flash Q here.
Go ahead.
Let's go.
The idea was not to get it by Q2. Go kill Misfortune. He's over here.
Think she stayed?
I don't know. Oh, she's over here. That way.
Pincer maneuver. That scared her off big time. How did I get turret aggro there?
Well, good plan. Actually, hold on. If you run to me, run to me.
Oh shit, she was way out of position. Nice ult. Mine's up in 20-ish.
Hands up there. I don't know. Okay. I'm back.
Let me just warm up a little bit.
Team here, but that's getting me the dumb items.
I got ult up, but they're all super far. We can maybe just run at them. Yeah, let's go. Dang it, you guys didn't come.
Okay.
Oh, there's a moo.
Oh. Okay.
My Guardian's still on cooldown for a little bit.
Who's loses if we drag it out. On my way.
Nice, that was such a good ult, holy hell. That was so good. Man, my ult hit the Vel'Koz and the Twisted Fate at the same time.
And then he ulted. Yes.
And it stopped the Vel'Koz ult as well. That's so well played.
I've done a clutch. My ult was at 5 seconds, and it was up right when I needed it.
Okay, I'll drop it in a W for you.
You get some farm, man.
No, we got this. Yeah, go in on me. What a legend.
Yeah, I baited him into that really hard.
Well, me too. I mean, I was taking tower.
He thought he had it, man. And then I just disappeared.
Yeah, you just went back to the, was your ult, like, just about to come up there?
Yeah, it just came up.
I got my ult back up now. I'm gonna go chime in.
I have ultimate hunter.
How many dudes you know go like this? How many dudes you know go like this? Not many.
We'd be in trouble. They only have moments in a group together.
How many dudes you know got the skills to go in and drop a flow like this? I don't know anybody. You like that song?
Yeah.
Look at that, I just tanked it. Alright, I'm gonna stay back and ready my ult. Let's go, dude. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a spicy ult. Look at that, it makes them all disperse after the ult comes out.
Just steal that.
Are you still going in? No, run to me. I got W. Oh, I couldn't save the Yi. Oh, there's a turret here. I hope TF doesn't try to hurt me. I'm very low on health.
Get away.
He's gonna try to ult out, I bet. He's over here. He's trying to juke us. Yeah, no worries. When I get Frozen Heart, even though I don't need it. Just to flex on Misfortune. I don't know anybody. How many dudes you know got the skills to go and rock a show like this?
My Q came back to me and I thought it was like someone hacking me out.
I don't really want to ult unless that means that I can get the Vel. Look, the Q did no damage. I have full health. Dang.
Sucks, I'm on my way.
I was hoping someone else would come. Oh, look at that. That's just ridiculous. just fuck them so hard. I love this champion, dude.
With their whole team fight in like 2 seconds.
Their whole team just can't move. It's like a Leona, but even bigger range. To be fair, they did a lot of damage to me before they died. My W gives me 10% of my health back because of the Spirit Visage. We'll do that coordinated recall. Why did it have to cycle on Blue Z? That's why I don't play TF, because it's so much RNG on if you can actually live. Like when you play Morgana and you Q, it doesn't randomly just not work sometimes. Oh, that would be funny. She's walked into me. Wow, she got so fucked. Look at that, she didn't go anywhere. She's going into my ult though. Just look at that, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I think she wasted flash before as well.
I towered over the TF set.
My ult cooldown is down to 57 seconds. It's not even full leveled yet. I'm just gonna walk at Vel'Koz. Alright, my ult's up in like 5, so let's just chill a sec.
Oh, I can flash. Can't touch me.
Da 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 da. Can't touch me. That's a Peter Griffin joke. I wish I could build Titanic Hydra on Bard. Because I have so much health.
I built mask.
You're cutting out a little bit.
It's because I'm far from my mic.
We're just gonna sit in a bush. I can 1v1 anyone that walks in. You're actually playing somewhat smart, hiding behind the turret. Yeah, if we 5v5, there's no way that they win. I don't know anybody. How many dudes have got the skills to go and rock the show like this? Get that sick damage. Uh-oh, they're feeding. Oh, watch this. I'm just gonna auto this guy to death. jungle mid difference. They're not even talking about the support. XD. I get no respect. Tank Bard, no damage.
Some good ults. Look, I'm bronze 1.
You got bronze 1? Let's go.
Did all the promos.
That was another Kaisa that just fed, but we won anyways. I did more damage than Yi and Kled.
You good?
Oh, I got double honored for tilt proof. Alright, I should probably eat something.
Yeah, I should too.